The first truly modern dancer of India, if anyone can be called that, is Dada Uday Shankar from 1900 to 1977. He had no clue about dance, Indian or Western. He was sent by his father to London from the native Rajasthan he was born in, aristocratic family no less, to train as a painter. But he did not continue with painting and by chance became a dancer. A great one at that and a very modern one for his times in 1930s. What was modern about his dance? That's a question for all of you to think. It was a break from past in themes, in language, in structure. It was discernible, which meant understandable. It was fun, it was appealing, and it was appreciated. You did not need to know heavy shastras, talamatra, or heavy dose of literature and history to understand the themes. It also gave our old mythologies a new twist, so it was very easy to understand either mythology or folk tales. He understood the art of presentation. He understood choreography. His main magic was never stretch something to half an hour, what can be done in 10 minutes. So he was a master of the medium. He had best costumes, best idea of music and scenography or backstage and props. He had team of very good dancers, all trained in different forms, but all willing to come under his baton of choreography. In fact, he can be truly called India's first choreographer or master genius modern dancer. He himself did not know that. That is the beauty of great artists. And his modesty remained his best jewel. He was a national treasure, a master showman, and none other that followed in history of modern Indian dance could match that talent. Modern dance in West arose in America as response to strictures of Western classical ballet. This arose out of historical and sociological reasons. America was a new country and needed new symbols and statements. It was also a way of breaking from its European past. The courts of France and England, Russia and Spain promoted classical ballet. America slowly created a new language that broke with past traditions and added to present. In music, it was jazz. In dance, it was modern. While this was happening in USA on 1930s, an Indian, by chance, made inroads into modern Indian dance. It was in Paris in 1930s that Uday Shankar had a dance in cafes and cabarets dressed up as a Nautch girl or Rajput bride. This was because as a dancer he was unknown and the only way he could survive in Paris was to do these tidbit roles. Then nothing is wasted in life paradigm came true and he was spotted by no less a ballerina than Anna Pavlova herself and paired in a small Indian or Oriental cameos Radha and Krishna. Uday Shankar partnered Pavlova and rest is history. He toured with her and soon created his own tour by coming back to India and collecting instruments, musicians like Alauddin Khan Sahib, Vishnu Das Shirali, and dancers like Simki, the French beauty who was closest to him for long, Zora Sehgal of Rampo, Komalata Banerjee, his cousin, and his wife-to-be Amala. Armed with a grudge group, he went to Europe and USA and conquered the West. He did so with his dance and this was made it unique for his times. His productions gave a scent of India, its flavors, colors, costumes and dances. At that point, no one really knew Indian dances. Foreigners who had come to India looked for Oriental themes, the Cobra and Hindu wedding tie and dance types. Ram Gopal stayed away from such display and learnt and performed only classical styles like Bharatanatyam and Kathakali and Kathak. It was left to Uday Shankar to create from existing milieu an entirely new form called Indian ballet or modern dance. The movements were Indian, the themes were Indian, the music was Indian, and the dances and dances were Indian. Many were inspired by him, many cloned him, but he remained an original. Bhaskar Roy Chaudhary, Yog Sundar, Gopal Krishnan all emulated him. Uday Shankar made Kalpana, a film based on dance story. Fast forward to circa 2015 and what do we have? A mishmash of ideas, often badly executed, poorly performed and horribly caricatured. A leg of Bharatanatyam, spin of Kathak, costume of ballet, designers gone real wrong. Mouthing mealy themes like empowerment, environment, and other such fashionable current global issues, these half-baked dancers and choreographers are shown on stage in name of modern dance. After Dada's Uday Shankar's reign till 1970s, there arose his disciples like Sachin Shankar and Narendra Sharma doing reasonably decent work and very simple, effective Indian themes like the train, Shringar, man and masks, and other such new themes. This was modern for them then. The idea of breaking away thematically from mythological lores Indian dances were so molded after and creating new fodder or material itself was modern. Santosh Nair follows this path set by his teacher Narendra Sharma. Execution was modern too in terms of simplified costumes. All gold crowns and armlets and dhotis were done away with, and just pants or t-shirts or simplified salwars were the main costume. A certain paring down of sense and sensibilities. Music was non-classical, and on the whole the evening's look was contemporary. They called it ballet after Western trends, and soon a new word was coined, contemporary. We Indians are very good with coining words without understanding its import or meaning. Anything can have a contemporary response. Fashion, shoes, hairstyles, design, building cars. Modern is different. Modern means a whole new language is structured. Like is Western classical music or dance. Modern dance was pioneered in America because it had no history or baggage of classical dances, and thus modern was a new language, a new grammar, a new approach in art. What jazz did to music, modern dance did for dance. Modern dance meant a break with classical ballet, Bolshoi types, a break with classical stuff. In Indian dance, definition being as many as there are proponents, the new dances all got lost in words no one knew or understood. End result was anything goes on stage as one sees now. Uday Shankar's student Narendra Sharma was lucky when he came out on the scene. There was no competition in Delhi. He, being the Lone Ranger, as Uday Shankar's best known disciple, were either in Bombay, Sachin Shankar, or in Kolkata, Amla and Mamta Shankar. Shanti Bardhan and his associate Gul and Prabhat settled in no man's land those days, a place called Gwalior. Shekharan Panikar was the only one doing ballet type choreography for mythological productions, having learnt under Guru Gopinath. Delhi and Bombay also benefited from interventions from foreigners like George Leshner, then director of Max Muller Bhavan, Bombay, who mounted an East-West encounter in the mid-80s. In order to promote German dancers later, who were far ahead in modern trends, having had experience in modern techniques in Europe, he platformed some, and including those Indian dancers who had not been greatly successful as soloists in classical dances in their careers till then. This forum was a meeting point for many dancers and artists, of whom a Bharatanatyam dancer called Chandralekha, who bleached her hair white to stand out in crowd, and Kathak talent Kumudni Lakhya, who wanted to go beyond traditional Ahmad Uthan Tatkar mode of Kathak, were the main discovery. Their careers as choreographers took off after this, although they had been in dance field for decades before. It was, however, in 1976, under Sangeet Natak Academy, which is our National Academy for Dance and Music and Traditional Theatre, that the first national forum and discussion took place on what is modern dance or what is contemporary dance. This was a 5-day festival featuring 10 or more choreographers who were active in that period from 60s till 80s, and their works were platformed. Among these were old well-known choreographers like Prabhat Ganguly, from the school of Shanti Bardhan and Gul Bardhan, and Sachin Shankar from Bombay, Narendra Sharma, close follower of Uday Shankar ji, Shekharan Panikar, student of Yog Sundar and Guru Gopinath, Yog Sundar himself, Natraj Shakuntala from Madras, Mrinalini Sarabhai, and Kumudin Lakhya from Ahmedabad. All of them showcased their art, and serious discussions took place under Mohan Khokhar's stewardship, the well-known scholar who was then heading the Sangeet Natak Academy, and got all these choreographers together under the baton of first national ballet festivals. Dance dramas which are contemporary in nature were called ballet, following in the footsteps of Western definitions and productions in that period. Some hold that this was a phase and a cut-off point, whereas those choreographers who were not part of this festival came 10 years later, Chandralekha, many other younger ones who had used traditional material and became modern choreographer through another conference which took place in 1984. The East-West encounter 1984 and 2020 gave impetus to modern search in Indian dance. And while this model remained largely German and only Chandralekha's career and got enhanced from being unknown Bharatanatyam dancer of little merit to becoming somebody in creative contemporary dance field, others carried on as before. Chandralekha did try hard and come up with everlasting works in her initial years. Navarasa with Kamadev, the excellent Kuchipudi dancer, and Shri, a production of women's rights. Chandra used Bharatanatyam, then abused it by saying it offered precious little. She used the same Tilana and Alaripu, albeit in group format, and while mouthing anti-Bharatanatyam sentiments, she still availed of its structure and benefited from it. Modern dancers have suffered from certain hypocritical stance, largely to sound different and to please their Western masters. This trend and discourse continues even now. We see acolytes and associates of Chandra debunking all classical dance and last century of dance writing, saying it used words like scintillating. Attempts to later place Chandra on same pedestal as Pina Bausch proved that the whole issue was stage managed. With her, this style died. She wanted no students, no followers, no school. Her art, like art of all greats, started and finished with her. While Chandra and Kumudini carried on seriously and sincerely in whatever they believed to be modern dance, even if still using traditional dances like Chau, Kalari, Kathak and Bharatanatyam, one dark horse who crept in slowly and won over the race went miles ahead was Daksha Seth. Trained in Kathak by Kumudini Lakhya and further by Krishna Chandra Nayak in Mayurbhanj Chau, she worked quietly away from arc lights and fame and created serious works of everlasting depth. All her productions show newness. Sama was first in 1986, set to Vivaldi's famous music score, and just by simple twists and turns, one could discern her genius in dance vocabulary. First lesson, modern dance is about a new language, not just new jargon. Daksha Seth proves this abundantly. All her works since then have newness, no repetition or even idea or style, and leave a lasting impressions worldwide. A Search for My Tongue, Malkham and many more followed, and beauty was Daksha's was discovering Indian lost traditions like street art of Kamalkham of Maharashtra, and she gave it new life. Content remained Indian and form. Its presentation, its appeal was modern. After Uday Shankar, Daksha Seth remains first and last genius of modern dance in India. Others have tried to do something meaningful like Astad Debu. This lone ranger from Mumbai is a follower of India's pioneering modern dancer Uttara Asha Kulawala, who rode the scene in late 60s and until she settled in mid-70s in USA, remained a reference point of what was new and excellent in Indian dance. Uttara can truly be hailed as first real modern dancer of India. Nothing about her dance was traditional Indian and everything was modern, especially delivery, language and style. Astad Debu has taken the form further with his own absorption of world cultures. He brings to dance a certain solitude, a quiet sensibilities. His movements are slow now, partly because of age and partly because of a style he has created. To do dance in very slow pace is far more taxing than doing in a flurry. His costumes, his art shows maturity of form. His dance is modern in language, yet its structure and themes and content is Indian. Like Daksha, he has found the kernel on what can be modern Indian dance. Madhu Nataraj of Bangalore has used her exposure to Kathak to mount works as vast as Manipuri, based Moha to Japanese influences and Scottish. She with the group STEM, Space, Time, Energy movement, are amongst the few who can dance to Chopin's music are Charulathas. Madhu brings in modern sensibilities to traditional Kathak. Leaps and paltas dominate her signature works. She is also amongst the few who teaches aesthetics and choreography. As a mother, the veteran Guru Maya Rao was India's first properly trained choreographer in USSR in 1960s. Many copycats and clones have emerged, some having broken off from parent groups like Samudra dancers of Trivandrum, who were part of Daksha's group and now are in Ahmedabad with another popular group. Some went to Ahmedabad, some went to Baroda or Trichy or Delhi. Others went to seek their fortunes in Bollywood or Tollywood. Kolkata groups have a unique place. In absence of any classical form Bengal can call its own, Kolkata has shown increased predilection towards modern or contemporary dances, starting with its Mahagenius of Uday Shankar. But like dining out of Dada's Tagore contribution for long, Bengal has dined out of Dada Shankar's contribution in modern dance for long. Only Mamta Shankar, his daughter and film actress in her own right, can claim to be closest to his style and substance. Tanushree Shankar tries to keep that style alive. Most Indian dancers mistake Western music to mean modern Indian dance. Nritya Nritya, a small group from Bangalore, is making waves for ushering in new sensibilities with works like Ardhanarishwara, Chitara and Mena from Mars. They have understood the core of modern dance while remaining Indian. They are evolving like Daksha language that has structure and style, substance and sensibility. Two sisters, Mayuri and Madhuri Upadhyay, are the main dancers and choreographers, and in each work seen there is freshness of form and depiction with dedication. Clearly, Nritya Nritya is a group to watch. What's happened in modern dance is also what's happening in television and films. Often now, gymnastics have replaced dancing and group dances are popular. So most ordinary youngsters mistake gymnastics and gyrations of Shamak Davar acrobatic types to mean modern dance. This trend has come about for many reasons. Most people don't have time to learn any one Indian classical form seriously, and most film stars too are jack of all, master of none, except a few like Hrithik Roshan, Prabhu Deva, and Tiger Shroff who can dance. Stars are so busy promoting films to survive in the market that they have no time to learn a basic form fully. They also have to learn horse riding, dance, swimming, and skills earlier mandatory to act. Now, computer graphics can make a skinny SRK look like a cousin of Sylvester Stallone, a la Ravan. Matrix and its models can go take a ride. We are here to create them on screen. Madras remains traditional and has very little to offer in modern dance. Narendra Kumar tries to do some type of modern dance, but end result is Bharatanatyam. Legs bend at knees automatically, exaggerated Kathakali gestures come in, and lo behold, a modern dance production looks like some old Bharatanatyam production. Anita Ratnam Dance Theatre with heavy emphasis on costumes that look rich, music that sounds detailed, and dance that's minimal. Attagallery of Bangalore is trying to find a path, though heavy Western influence and sensibilities don't make it look like they have anything uniquely Indian to offer yet. Smattering of training in Kalari or Kathakali does not necessarily lead to anything exceptionally modern. Dependence on technology and stage prop shows Attagallery's types of groups are still in infancy. Small town India follows Big Brother, the metros. Mysore now has some Vande Mataram number going on without by your leave to composer singer A.R. Rahman. Themes are predictable and stuff similar. Chandigarh, Kanpur, Cochin, modern dance means film sequences at best, some hashed up Indian styles at worst. What then is answer to all this? A long ago, it was mooted by central government that a National School of Choreography on lines of National School of Drama be set up. The idea was discussed, but who would lead? All wanted to take that role without having the experience or exposure. Naturally, like all good things Indian, the idea died and never took off. We Indians are too individualistic and can rarely work in teams in most spheres of our social endeavors. Sponsors are to be blamed too. They clearly say, please do modern dance. Without training or background, a dancer that has learnt a smattering of one or more classical style then tries to find 3 or more compatriots who can move a leg too. They then become a group. They call it some newfangled name. Then they think what's best to do on borrowed music, costumes, time and money. End result, shoddy dance, not modern or dance. Solution: sponsors should take pride in Indian things because most of their monies and earnings in business comes from Indian soil. Even if they want modern, sponsors should welcome Indianness in dance. They should let groups develop over a period of time and support such on continuous basis. So financial security is granted to do creative work. An average dancer has no financial means to sustain one show, leave alone a lifestyle. A sponsor should adopt a group of 2 or 3 years that would be best service, and if in that time some tangible result show does not happen, change or support someone else. So opinions of experts can be sought, though most critics have their own favorites and promote accordingly. Modern dance is poised for growth. Anyone keen on seriously learning such a form should first attach to a master. See Box of Dance Masters. Undergo basic training and then enter the field. Just propping oneself up on false press and praise surely could lead to initial success, but not long staying power. In the end, a dancer should first realize what is modern dance, then also understand if his or her body and spirit lends itself to it. Then try and create some short works that can be shown to core group of seniors and get their opinions and inputs. After this, they can mount a work that will stand the test of time, else if shoddy, it will be forgotten the next day. Modern dance in India would benefit from some direction. May the spirit of all those who pioneered and those who still with us guide many youngsters to this path of self-discovery and possible glory. Amen. So, can anyone tell me, where does modern dance stand today? At crossroads. It is hardly modern, saying one or two who have already understood the medium, like Daksha Seth or Madhuri and Mayuri Upadhyay sisters of Bangalore. Some others are blindly copying each other, and they are just taking ideas and recycling from old productions. Music remains a core issue of concern. Either it is borrowed or sometimes just stolen without credits being given to it. Music score is very important for composition of dance. 2, themes and structure is sometimes not up to mark. News also comes that groups in East maybe sometimes just copy groups from West or North from South. In all of this, you see the audience is either bored, like some of you, maybe SMSing or texting to each other or to friends, and of course youngsters also need to focus on modern choreography because this is where the new trends emerge.